Jaipur is one of India's top tourist destinations, but not far from its architectural landmarks is a far more modest one that draws a whole different kind of visitor. They come literally on hands and knees to an organization commonly known as Jaipur Foot.
Every year, they are fitting anything between 23 to 25,000 limbs.
Dr. Mehta began offering artificial limbs and other services to physically disabled people nearly 40 years ago. By far the most frequent patients are amputees, trauma victims mainly from road accidents. The Jaipur Foot organization was started with the help of government grants and is now funded mostly by foundations and individual donors. Its cost structure, for a lower limb, say, are minuscule by Western standards.
Now it's $50.
Here's a comparison. In the United States, a prosthesis like this would typically range in price from $8,000 to $12,000. It would be made of metal, aluminum, possibly carbon fiber. Whereas in Jaipur, the key ingredient is a PVC piping more commonly used to irrigate farms. And this is the key to a $50 artificial leg.
One challenge that's required a lot more innovation is the knee.
So much so that it's better to lose both the limbs below the knee than to lose one leg above the knee. And the knee has been the weakest link in prosthetic componentry in the developing world.
Dr. Pooja Mukul, an orthopedic specialist, is leading the effort to develop better options, partnering with MIT and Stanford University with software typically used in the movies.
So then we got a bumper put in here, and now it's a silent knee. And also the geometry, you see, this is really very squarish and doesn't match the human geometry in any way, and this is more like a knee.
It's built to be especially sturdy and simple, and especially for conditions in the developing world, where the typical amputee has a very different profile than in the West.
A typical amputee in India or the developing world would be post-traumatic, and age would be 20 to 30. In fact, even younger, because if you're looking at landmines, then it's a lot of young children who are stepping on landmines and losing their limbs. So it's a very young population who have no other medical condition pulling them down except the fact that they unfortunately met with an accident. And they have their whole productive lives ahead of them.
The new Jaipur knee will be ready for mass production later this year. Once the molds are made, the cost in manufacturing should come down to about $20 a piece, based on the simple, low-cost approach for all prostheses here. They are cut and trimmed by hand. About a third of the workers here have Jaipur limbs themselves. Mehta says restoring people's mobility makes a huge difference in lives, which he asked these amputees to show us by sprinting. This is Fred DeSam Lazaro in Jaipur, India, for the PBS NewsHour.